Welcome to FinLab Podcast. Yuk pintar uang supaya cuan. In this episode, we will meet Angelique. Angelique is from KoinWorks. It's a P2P lending institutions for the small, medium enterprises. So for you guys, the millennials who would like to have business after your university life, and then we will learn about the financial literacy for the SME. Hi, Angelique. So it's glad to have you here, and then we know that you are a pioneer in this P2P industry. And then can you tell us a bit more about the KoinWorks?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Yanti and Binus for inviting me over today. Happy to be part of this podcast. Yeah, KoinWorks is the number one MSME digital lending platform in Indonesia, where we connect investors to small and medium enterprises in Indonesia, seeking funding to grow their business idea, or actually their dream. And we were incepted in 2016, so we're celebrating our 8th anniversary this year. And our mission is to democratize access to capital by providing innovative financial solutions. So on the one hand, we're offering small investments on our platform for any retail investor. So that can be the young millennials, that can be a high net worth, that can be from 100,000 rupiah all the way up.
Oh, yeah.
On the other hand, we use that money to give MSMEs a chance to grow their business, and we offer them loans.
Right.
Most of our MSMEs are millennials, young entrepreneurs that do not have access to the banks, but they do have access to platforms like KoinWorks, where we offer them unsecured capital to drive job creation, because we know with every loan we provide, they can grow up to 4 to 8 jobs per year. On the other hand, it really drives a lot of economic development, as the Indonesian MSME is also the backbone of Indonesia. So by supporting MSMEs and especially connecting investors, driving the funds to MSMEs through our platform, we're able to really support and contribute to a more inclusive and sustainable economy in Indonesia.
Right. So Indonesian MSMEs, I believe that it's like 70% of the GDP of Indonesia comes from these industries, right? Yeah. But among so many SMEs, how do KoinWorks actually pick or choose which one that they would like, you would like to fund?
So in general, we can say that we serve the MSMEs that are underserved. Underserved by the formal banks. In the Indonesian economy, more than 99% is labeled as micro. So again, we need to segment within micro who are underserved and who are not. Unfortunately, majority is underserved. We do see certain MSMEs who are financed by the banks, but if they have growth potential, they don't have enough collateral to ask for additional loans. So we either serve the ones who have never ever accessed a loan from a financial institution. Either we serve the ones who have a growing need, but cannot be served by the formal banks. In our portfolio, we see that we have more than 50% that is micro size. So that's below revenue of 350 million rupiahs per year. We see another 35% that is small size. And then the remaining is 15% of larger size in our portfolio. In general, we see MSMEs approaching us that do not have collateral because we serve unsecured loans. We ask for the historical purchase data. so that in our underwriting and data analytics, we can look at the revenue growth the past 3 to 6 months. They should have a certain track record, a certain length of business. Because with the data analytics, we have a certain comfort level of repayment scenarios. So even if an MSME is underserved, there's still a lot of opportunities to access finance. And that's also our mission, to really democratize finance for MSMEs that are underserved.
Right. So, it's very important for them also to have the records, right, of their businesses. And then I would like to ask about the specifically skills that they supposedly they should have, like financial literacy. So how important is financial literacy of the SMEs, including how you define financial literacy for your clients, for example?
At KoinWorks, we define financial literacy as the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills. So if we, during our annual impact research, talk to MSMEs, we ask them questions like, do you have a business plan? Do you have financial records? Do you have enough capacity for repayment? Or actually a more essential question, do you separate your personal bank accounts from your business bank accounts?
That's important.
These are all examples where we try to trigger them to become more aware on how they financially organize their business. Because the more organized and have applied their skill sets in their business, for us, it's easier to finance them. But we know that especially on the micro level or the women-led enterprises do have extra needs on financial literacy skills. So we organize monthly webinars on how to formalize your business, how to deal with tax, basics like investment or savings versus the allocation for business growth. So in that sense, we give a lot of education, but we also have the business doctor, which is a kind of a free consultancy where people can apply on our website. And we support them. You do a quick assessment on their business, and then the strengths and weaknesses will give us insights on where can we give extra consultancy to develop that over time and help them to get ready for a stage to get access to the loan. So it's crucial for us that we give the financial literacy in order to provide financial inclusion. Because financial literacy in itself, to me, is only valuable if we link it to financial inclusion, and that's for us to actually give access to capital.
So your role is more important than what I thought before. So you are not only giving them or give them the access to fundings, but also you educate them.
Correct.
Knowing that the Indonesian SMEs is financial literacy is still low, right? So beside the financial literacy, so what other factors that you think is important for the SMEs growing and to be sustained in the long run?
As a chief of impact, very close to my heart is, of course, if there is any sustainable practice. But that's absolutely not a selection criteria.
Not the selection.
But if you talk about financial literacy, we also do a lot of sustainable literacy on how to slowly transform their MSME business into a more sustainable business. Waste segregation, water management, as simple as wrapping in paper and not in plastics. That's one. On the other hand, of course, what is key for the long-term sustainability is strong leadership. So we look at the founder. Of course, access to markets. We know that they often approach us and ask us, like, can you help to expand our sales channels? They have a high need on digital marketing.
Right.
So we do provide a lot of help on digital savviness.
Right.
By nature, KoinWorks supports MSMEs with a certain digital footprint. By nature, we serve young entrepreneurs.
Right.
So they have a certain digital savviness. But how to turn that effectively into more sales growth is still a big question mark for them. And we're happy to see that there's a huge eagerness and a high participation in our webinars, but the conversion can still be further improved.
Still need to be improved.
Yeah. And I think in that sense, of course, policy regulation comes also in place here. We see that MSMEs are still relatively hesitant in opening up their books. As they're always at the fine line of tax payments, non-tax payments. So we help them how to be tax compliant and still growing your business.
Because there's a stigma that if you have more revenue and then your tax will be higher and then you are left with nothing, right? So
exactly.
that is the perceptions. Okay.
And in that sense, we really try to be that partner who walk with the founder of these MSMEs towards unlocking their dream. Because with the capital injection and offering the financially inclusive package to them, we hope they can really grow to that next level, and that we kind of create the unicorns amongst MSMEs. Why should that only be the bigger corporates or companies, right?
Exactly.
The MSME should be our pool of talent, especially as backbone, where we now and then see people rise and shine.
Yeah, and also I think from my observations, the millennials now, the millennial generations, they don't like to tie it up in a certain company, so they want to have their own businesses.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So
correct.
They should start from the small business or medium business, So what is your advice to millennial generations about the financial literacy?
Yeah, I read an article last week where Gen Z is the least financial literate amongst all generations. And that's very concerning. But on the other hand, it also makes sense because we digitize payments. When I was young, I went to the bank, I opened a bank account. So we had a physical interaction. We had the notes in hand. I delivered that to a bank employee. And in return, I got my bank book that says, hey, Miss Angelique, you have X amount of deposits. Nowadays,
everything
money is very fluid, right? Which creates a lot of access for everyone. On the other hand, we have to make sure that the basic principles are understood by every generation. So I think for the millennials, or no matter which generation, make financial literacy a priority in your life. Make sure you have understanding on savings, on protection, on small investments.
Right.
And do be aware that making money is not without risk. We often forget to tell that, right? It's amazing to see returns of 10, 12% on your rupiah. But it is with certain risk. Money costs money. So banks, financial institutions, everyone will put a price on that risk.
The higher the return that you expect, that you have to...
The higher risk. So make sure your portfolio is always spread.
Okay. So that's a very nice advice. And for the millennials, I think, millennials, you heard from Angelique. So do learn of your financial literacy in this podcast. Thank you so much for your coming, and then we will see you in other episodes of this podcast.
Thank you so much, Yanzi. Thank you.